Okay, more homework. We have 2 to the negative square power. It's upstairs in the numerator, right? So you will put -2 downstairs. So it will be 1 over 2 to the second power, right? And the answer would be 1 to the 1 over 4. Okay, next question. 3 to the -1 power. We move powers downstairs. This is in the numerator, so we will move it downstairs, right? So the answer will be 1 over 3. Okay, next question. -1 to the -0 power. It's upstairs, right? And we have a negative power upstairs. So we're going to move that negative power connected to the 1, not connected to the negative, right? Downstairs. Right, so move it downstairs. Exactly. Okay. And 1 to 0 power is 1, right? The answer could be -1. Okay, next question. We have a -4 in the parentheses. We're going to start with the parentheses first. And if we look outside, there's a negative power of 3. So we're going to move the parentheses -4 downstairs and leave the negative number upstairs. So -4 to the power of 3. Okay. -4 to the power of 3 will be a negative number, right? Anything negative to odd power is going to be negative still. So 4 to the -3rd is 64. Okay. -1 over -64. Okay, and those negatives will cancel out because the negative divided by a negative is positive. So it's going to be 1 over 64. Okay, this one, you're going to move the 10 downstairs along with the power of 3. Okay, so the answer would be -1000. Okay, this one looks tricky, but it's the same thing. Okay, you move the -10 downstairs again to the power of 3 and do the same thing. Your answer will be the same, -1 over 1000. Okay, this one. This time, -3 to the negative squared, it's downstairs and it has a negative power. We're going to put the whole thing upstairs. So we have 1 times 3 to the 1 times 3 squared. It's going to be equal to 9 times 1. 9 times 1 is 9. Okay, you look at this one. We see that we have a negative power downstairs. Move it upstairs. So we're going to move the 4 upstairs along with the square. So it's going to be 2 times 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. This one, we have 3. And on the bottom, we have a 2 connected with the negative exponent. Move the 2 with a negative exponent upstairs. So we're going to have 3 times 2 squared divided by 2. Okay, so if we look at the 2 has a power of invisible 1, right? So we're going to cancel out the exponents because our bases are the same. So 2 minus 1 is 2. Go with the one with the greater power. So we have 3 times 2 to the power of 2 minus 1, right? And 2 minus 1 is 1, so 3 times 2 to the power of 1, or 3 times 2, which on 2 is 6. Right. That's your answer there. Okay, 4 times 6 to the negative square power. Move it downstairs because it's negative exponent. Move the 1 downstairs upstairs. Okay, so 6x negative x squared goes downstairs, and the -1 stays on the bottom, right? And 3 connected to the negative square will go up to the top. Okay. So we have 4 times 3 squared. 3 squared is 9. Okay. -6 is 6 squared is going to be 36. Is negative 36. Good. And 9 times 4 is 36. So we're going to have negative 36 divided by 36. And it's going to be equal to negative 1. Next question. We have 9 half power times 4 half power, right? And to get this one, we see that we have x to the negative square on the bottom, so we're going to move that upstairs. Okay. Excellent. Now we're going to one way to get this is to change the 9 to the most basic form, right? And we can change it to 3 squared, right? And it's going to be to the half power, okay? Parentheses half power. Same thing with the 4. We can change it to the most basic form, 2 squared, okay? Half power. Now if we use the power rule, we can distribute half power into 3 squared, right? We choose half power into 3 squared. 2 times 1 half is 2 over 2. And 2 over 2 equals to 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay, now we are going to do the same thing with 2 squared. We distribute half power into the 2. 2 times 1 half is going to be 2 over 2. And 2 over 2 is equal to 1. So there we go. So we're going to have 3 times 2 is 6. X squared. That's your answer. Okay, next one is 9 to the negative 2 to the 5th power. We're going to move that downstairs. Right. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing we did last time. Make the 9 to its most basic form, which is 3 squared. So 3 squared, parentheses, times 2 to the 5th power times 3 to the 5th power. Now we have like bases, right? And we know when we multiply like bases, we're going to add the exponents. So let's add the exponents together. So 3 squared. I'm sorry. We have to use the power rule to put 2 to the 5th power times 2, right? 2 to the 5th power times 2 is 4 to the 5th power, right? Okay. Times 3 to the 5th power. And now we're going to add the exponents together. So 3 to the power of 4 to the 5th power plus 3 to the 5th power. That will be equal to 1 over 3 to the 7th over 5 power. Okay, now this one. Okay, we have negative exponents, so what's those ones that have negative exponents will go downstairs, and those in the bottom, those in downstairs that have negative exponents will go upstairs. So let's do that. The 4 will stay upstairs, it's not connected to an exponent, but x is connected to a negative exponent, so put that x downstairs, put the y downstairs, and put the y to the negative squared upstairs. Great. Can we simplify? We can simplify. Look, we have like bases, we have y, the powers will cancel out, right? So 2 minus 1 is 2 minus 1 is 1. The power of 2 is higher than the power of 1, so it will go on top, right? So it will be y to the power of 1, right, over x. Simplified. Okay, so this one is x squared plus y negative squared, negative power, right? And all negative power to the power is negative 1, right? We see that we have a negative power downstairs, right? We're going to move that one upstairs. Leave the negative outside alone. Leave that negative one alone. Okay. Good. And then we have to parentheses x squared plus y power of negative squared. Right. Now, since we have an addition sign in the parentheses like this, the power rule does not work. It's powerless. Okay? It can't work. So what we got to do, since it's a negative exponent, we're going to take the whole parentheses and put it downstairs because it's all connected. Right. Okay. Now that we have that, we know that negative z squared is going to be positive z. Okay. And the bottom, we have a negative, right? Parentheses x squared. Good. Well, now that we have that, we have a y. A y is, we can't move the y upstairs. Why? Because it's connected to the x squared by a positive sign. It can't jump up. It can't go up there. It's stuck. If he tries to get up, he can't. He'll be pulled back down. It's illegal to do that. To do that in math. So what we got to do is change the y to the negative second power into a fraction downstairs. It would just change downstairs. It won't even go upstairs. That's all it can do. Now what we're going to do, in order to eliminate that fraction on the bottom, we're just going to multiply the top and the bottom by that fraction, by y squared. Y squared divided by y squared. Now, we're going to distribute that y squared into the top and the bottom, parentheses, y squared. Okay, let's distribute the y squared into x squared. And we're going to get x squared times y squared. Okay, and then y squared distributed into this one will be y squared over y squared. And y squared divided by y squared is 1. So we'll have x squared times y squared plus 1 on the numerator. And this would be our simplified answer. Okay, next answer, next question. It's a squared plus a squared, right? All times b to the negative second power. Since b to the negative second power is connected by multiplication to that to the factor of parentheses, we're going to put that downstairs. Okay, next, right? Exactly. Since a squared is plus a squared, right? Since two like bases are added together, right? First of all, their exponents stay the same. They don't change like in multiplication. What changes is the bases. The bases are like the same species. They will be added together, and instead of so we'll have 2a squares, right? 2a squares. So we add together. So 2a squares. A squared plus a squared is 2a squared, and b squared will be on the bottom. And you can't simplify any further than that. Next question. Okay. We have 4 to the third, fourth power, right? And so on. And we're going to divide 2 from 8. 2 divided by 8. Yep. Right? They cancel out. 2 cancels out from 8. Right? So 8 divided by 2 is 4. Right? So we 1 on top and 4 on the bottom. There. Put that back there. And now we're going to change that 4 to a 2, right? 2 squared. The top 4 to a 2 squared. 3 over 4, yep. Over 4. And then we're going to distribute 3 to the 4th power. We're going to use the power rule for that left term. Okay, 3 over 4 into the 2. So 2 times 3 over 4 is going to be 3 over 2. Okay, 3 over 2. Times 2 and 1/2 divided by 4. And look, we have 2 as a base here on the left. See that one? And another 2 as a base, right? They're both numerators. So here we have, we can make this into an invisible 1, right? Invisible 1 times 2, yep. 2 squared, 2 to the 1/2 power over 4, right? So now we have 2 like bases, right? And when we multiply 2 like bases, our exponents are added together. So let's add those exponents together. So it'll be 2 to the power of 3 over 2 plus 1 over 2, right? Divided by 4. Now, 3 over 2 plus 1 over 2 is going to be 4 over 2. So 2 to the 4 over 2 power over 4 equal to 4 divided by 2 is 2. So 2 to the 2nd power over 4. 2 to the 2nd power is 4. And 4 divided by 4 is 1. That's your answer. So next question is 4xy to the power of -1, all to the power of -1/2. Okay, first we are going to distribute. There's no addition here, there's no subtraction here, so we can distribute. We can use the power rule and put in that -1/2 into all the numbers and variables there. So it'll be 4 to the power of -1/2, x to the power of -1/2, and y to the power of 1/2, because negative times negative is positive. Okay, there we go. So it'll be 4 -1/2 power, x -1/3, 1/2 power, and then y to the 1/2 power. And guess what? Look at what's upstairs. Negative exponents. So we're going to put those negative exponents connected with their base downstairs. And then we're going to look and see if we can simplify anything. And we can. If we change the 4 to its lowest base, it will be 2 squared. Okay, 2 squared. Right? Times 1/2 power times x to the 1/2 power, y squared. So now we can use the power rule for that one. -2 into the square power. 2 times 1/2 will be 2 over 2. And 2 over 2 is 1. Right? 1x 1/2 power over y 1/2 power. And that's your answer. All right, looks like a z. What is it, 2?